Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. Some longtime Detroit businesses are getting the opportunity to approve their curb appeal thanks to financial assistance from the Motor City Restore program. The first grants in the business facade improvement program were recently announced. 44 businesses received a total of $330,000 to update their exterior appearance. Another $519,000 in potential funding was set aside for design grant winners that proceed to the construction phase of their projects. And 70% of the awardees are minority-owned businesses. Motor City Restore was announced earlier this year by Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan and the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. Joining me now is Michael Rafferty from the DEGC, along with two of the grant recipients, Joe Spencer of Louisiana Creole Gumbo and Julian Hill of Celebrity Car Wash. Welcome, all three of you, to American Black Journal.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah. So, Mike, you'll forgive me for chuckling a little bit about this, what this reminds me of. So back when we had the Super Bowl in Detroit, we went around downtown and fixed up the outsides of buildings that were empty so that the place looked like it was more inhabited.
I remember that.
This, of course, is much more real. This is about helping actual businesses look more appealing to people who are walking by or driving by, and improving that sort of avenue feel, I think, in our commercial corridor.
Yeah. You know, and I'm going to start a little higher level and further back in history. About 40 years ago, DEGC, started with the expectation of improving Detroit's economy. And about 3 years ago, Mayor Duggan and DEGC's leadership said, we really have to start thinking about small businesses, and the small business division at DEGC was created. Yeah. Since then we've designed programming that supports small businesses. Nationwide, more than 90% of people who are employed by a small business firm. Yeah. So it's incredibly important for Detroit's revitalization and for the improvement of its economy to support small businesses. But more importantly, we're losing $2.6 billion every year. Right. Detroit residents going, across in the suburbs, buying goods and services. A lot of that has to be retained. So the strategy, is to attract new businesses to fill the vacancies. If you drive up and down commercial corridors in Detroit, you see vacancies. And if people are coming to your home, if you live in Detroit, they have to pass by this vacancy. And it tells a narrative and a story about, about your city, your community, your home, and that sort of thing. So, we designed Motor City Match, a lot of folks know about. It's in its second year. It's been doing great work attracting businesses. We've got 30 businesses open there. Last year, we spent a lot of time thinking about what do we do for the bin-ups and existing businesses, the folks who carried the culture of Detroit for, decades through thick and thin. And meanwhile, how do we think about supporting the beautification of the commercial corridors? And so Motor City Restore was created, and I've been really happy with the success. I've been fortunate to spend time with folks like this who are awardees. Louisiana Creole Gumbo. You're here to talk about that this time. You're here on this show a lot talking about WGPR as well. We should note that.
Thank you.
But this is your business. This is what you actually do. Talk about what this program will help you do there.
Well, we've been around since 1970. So, we've been around. We've served the city for a very, very long time. And we recently had an expansion. Our original store is on Gratiot at St. Albans. We had an expansion at 7 Mile Road. And in the last few years, we've had a lot of interaction with the city, with the different programs that they have. The Motor City Match has been a very good program. Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business has been a very good program. Any Ideas have been a very, very good program. And all these programs have assisted us in the growth of our business. Most recently, we were fortunate enough to get a grant from the Motor City Restore for our 7 Mile store. And we just recently opened that store last year. And, it costs a lot of money to put together a good-looking facility. And, the thing about it is that so often people buy by the exterior of a building, you know what I mean? You can be doing great product in your store, but if you don't have the look, they'll just pass by. And so they've helped me. We're working right now on a design to improve the exterior of our business. And it's a great benefit, a great help.
Yeah. What about Celebrity Car Wash?
Well, being awardee of Motor City Restore has just been a great opportunity. And I'm so glad that a program like this exists for the people and the residents of the city of Detroit. Our plan is we had a grand sign, something like the Fox Theater, I like to say is about 70 feet tall. And the sign came down in a windstorm, and we had issues replacing the sign. And so we applied to the Motor City Restore and to get a new sign, to get our sign replaced. And one of the things that we really enjoyed and loved about our sign was that we would put inspirational quotes on our sign, which was really a driving factor. I mean, the sign is important, but the quotes
the message, right?
The message just really resonated with the people in the community. We've had articles in Metro Times about the sign. I had a phone call from Toronto about doing a television series about the sign. We were going through our phone messages, and people have left messages. What happened to your sign? It was such a benefit. It was so good to the community. And our sign would say, God loves you. You're the best. Be creative. And being a part of this Motor City Restore and having a benefit to be able to help the businesses that are already in place or have been in place and have so many different expenses, it was just a great opportunity and such a great benefit.
Yeah. Talk about the areas that your businesses are in and what they look like in terms of the streetscape now. I mean, are there other things that we need to be working on there?
Well, the whole Northwest corridor, that is Livernois, 7 Mile, and even 8 Mile, it's starting to come back. I mean, it's abandoned for many, many years. The building that I'm in was abandoned for years on 7 Mile Road, and I was fortunate enough to be able to buy it, and now we're doing it, beautifying it. But there are businesses that are slowly coming back, you know, and I can't see anything but good coming out of the Restore program because it gives guys a chance to boost up, because as I said before, it takes a lot of money to put together a facility, and sometimes just having that extra boost, and particularly in my case, having a design team to come in and say, hey, you know, here's what you could do, you know, if you know, and I'm not a designer, so when I put my place together, I put it together like, okay, just get it done. It's about the food, but it is more than about the food. It's about the exterior and, you know, the look, and do people feel safe, and do people feel like, you know, it's as good as I can get, you know what I mean? And so it's important to do that. And so I see our neighborhood coming back, and I'm just more hopeful for it. You know?
Yeah. What about where Celebrity Car Wash is?
Well, we're on Woodward. We're in the North End, just north of Grand Boulevard, and there has been, we continue to see every day the development from downtown Detroit, extending past Midtown and expanding, coming back down towards North End. We still have a lot of work, and there's still a lot of things that need to be done, but there's a lot of residential infill development that's coming along now. Apartment buildings that were once vacant and had been vacated for years are now, there's life. And this program adds to be able to help businesses be more attractive. Just like Joe had mentioned earlier, if a Detroit business, if you don't look good from the exterior, they keep going by and they keep driving by, even though your business or your services may be just as good, if not better, than another business or restaurant or service outside of or across 8 Mile rather.
Right.
And building on that, I mean, to me, this is a matter of, you know, equity, and it's also a matter of layering investments, right? So, you know, if you're going to Royal Oak or Birmingham or Troy or any of the other, you know, suburban neighborhoods that, or, you know, communities that Detroiters spend money in, it looks good. Right? It feels safe. There's a look and feel to the space,
and that matters.
It matters tremendously. I mean, part of $2.6 billion is a huge, huge loss, and it's in part because of things like this. Layering investment, you know, we hope that over time we see critical mass of businesses participating in Motor City Restore and making investments into their exteriors, but it's being layered on top of investments being made by the city. I'm sure you know. You know, last month, a $1.2 million street bond, I'm sorry, $125 million street bond was passed. And that's going to turn into new sidewalks, new roads, new streetscapes.
And that'll also help with these commercial core.
Right. And when you go to places like Midtown, just south of you, you know, you'll see that layered investment realized. And we're trying to make sure that the neighborhoods of Detroit are seeing the same type of, you know, resurgence that Midtown is.
And of course, the work on these commercial corridors helps what's behind it, right? On 7 Mile and Livernois, you've got a lot of different neighborhoods that are also expecting change.
The thing is that there are really a lot of great neighborhoods in Detroit. I mean, the neighborhood I'm in, solid brick homes, you know, very nice middle-class community, but they're driving right past many of the businesses because they don't feel that they're going to get the quality. So the program is going to help that, you know, because these people are leaving our neighborhoods to go in the suburbs.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, you know, being a business owner in Detroit, I mean, we have higher insurance, we have higher costs for so many different things. Having grants or things like this available makes it easier to do business and to do better business and to make improvements to your stores and to your services that you provide to the people of the city of Detroit. Right. And one of the great things that I had enjoyed or loved about the award ceremony was that it was a mixture of it was a melting pot of winners. I mean, there were Hispanic restaurants, or there were the Louisiana Creole, there were dance studios, there were bike shops. It's just anybody who thinks about applying or needs something should definitely apply. Yeah. I sat back and said, what's the point? Right. And, you know, being in business for over 15 years, you've had to find lots of ways to make things happen and make ends meet on your own and pull things together. And now with Motor City Restore and with the leadership of the mayor's office, that we're able to get more things done in the inner communities, in the inner areas that are outside of downtown. Yeah. And I think that people have spoken, and the mayor's office has heard that through work with the DEGC and getting it out there.
We've only got about a minute left. What's next? You guys are always coming up with something.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I think there are a ton of gaps in Detroit. You know, when we're talking about, again, the number of $2.6 billion leaving the city, you know, part of that's because we don't have, you know, all the right goods and services here. Another part of it is they're here, but people just don't know about them. So, you know, we're doing a retail market study that helps us understand exactly what Detroiters demand
and what we need.
Exactly, by business type. And the other gap is, you know, making sure that we have the right programming in place to proactively attract businesses. But we're constantly filling gaps. Motor City Match and Motor City Restore, it's a quarterly program. Those are quarterly programs. If you're interested, visit the websites, theirnames.com. Yeah, right. And hopefully we'll see more stuff.
Right. Congratulations to you too. And
thank you.
Thanks for all the work.
That's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.